Welcome to the Love Laura podcast. Join us for all things fashion, fun, girls chats and all the behind the scenes. This is what you will not see on socials. This is getting right behind the brand. Welcome back to the Love Laura podcast. We're so glad you've joined us, but we are so excited this morning because we have the gorgeous Danielle Donohoe on the sofa with Holly and I this morning.
Thank you. I'm so excited to
If
be here.
anyone doesn't know Danielle, we don't know how you don't know, because Danielle is a blogger. Is that how we say it? An influence? We don't like that word because you're much more than that. We're a bit cringe.
Yeah.
But Danielle has worked with Walking Wardrobe with Love Laura for the longest time. She has been one of our OG supporters, OG girl, just an all-round, genuine, lovely, lovely girl. She's gorgeous. She has 2 beautiful kids. She's got a husband. She's balances a really, really busy life, but she shows up. She's very genuine. What I would say, you're very authentic online. You're beautiful, and also you keep it really real. So if you don't already follow, you are missing out.
Do you want me to get you a wee tissue?
Promise you, you're missing out. So let's just get into it. Tell us about you, Danielle.
Can I interrupt for 1 second?
Okay.
You've missed the main bit. What? It's her birthday today. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I know.
What a way to spend your
What a way to spend, like, where else would I want to be right now? To be fair, I was saying to Holly, I feel like I've already done them. She was like, oh my gosh, your birthday. I was like, well, I've been for a run this morning. I came home, the girls had thrown a surprise party. They're 7 and 5. So there was balloons, there was cake, there was candles, there was presents. So I feel like we've done the birthday.
And might I add that it's 20 to 10.
Exactly.
So I feel like I'm
into
okay.
that because honestly, I need all of the details in this fitness journey because you are honestly amazing. I said Danielle was at the shoe event on Thursday night, and I was like, Danielle, I saw photos of you recently, and there's muscles in your arms where there is muscles nowhere on me. So
you know what though, I think a lot of people like that, Laura, have said like in recent weeks and months, like, what are you doing? What have you been at? But like, I feel like I've been at this forever now. Like
consistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
My baby is 5, just turned 5 in August. Marla turned, and when she was about just turning 2, I really started back into it. So we're talking well over 3 years, do you know, that sort of way. So it's been little steps, and at the start I was like once a week class. Literally came home, never going to do that again, like felt awful, was like the most unfit there, felt really self-conscious. I think especially because I've always been sporty. I spent my life being sporty.
Did you?
Before I got pregnant, I was at the gym flat out. I always lived a very active lifestyle, and then through pregnancy and all, I got away from that. So see, going back and being the least fit in the class versus being one of the fitter ones, like I really struggled with that mentally, which I never thought I would. You know, I just thought like, well, we all start from somewhere again, and had that whole mentality.
But I was never fit. I think I started from ground zero. I was happy enough.
I don't believe that one.
No, that's not true, because Laura actually is a cyclist too.
Years ago I was
very
cyclist,
active.
but I'm active, but I wouldn't like. I definitely see a P and all like in school. Oh Jesus, I would have been the worst, or I would have dreaded it. Like I would have been the one with the note.
My favourite subject. Yes.
Yeah.
I had friends like you, and I was like, why? I was like, it baffled me that people got notes to get out of PE. I was like, this is the best subject of the week.
No, football. If the football had to come for me, I was in the other corner. Like the other corner of the room. No, not for me.
I didn't mind it, and it comes as a big
really
surprise.
Sporty, though.
I was so sporty in school. I would have done my GCSEs. Obviously I was fine on sport, but for my A level I picked sport, and that makes everybody laugh, but I actually loved it.
I did A level sport
We
too,
done netball
but like
and
I
hockey.
feel like it gets a bad rep, Holly, and there's a lot of biology and stuff in that. Like I think you're like, oh, did you run to the gym for your A level? Like,
no, honestly, coming out of it. Now, can I also then jump in by saying the biology side of it maybe wasn't my cup of tea. Maybe was just the fun about, I just want to have fun. I just want to run
for the gym workout.
Yeah. Then I left school, and then it just didn't happen. But only recently that, last week when you got me into my first Pilates and all, that's what I said to you though. When you haven't done something before, you haven't done it in so long, or you don't feel the way you probably should feel, there is nothing worse than that feeling of walking into that class and knowing. Now, people are so lovely, but you're still aware of your own fitness level, so you're still aware if you're absolutely down inside and everybody else is
and me
rocking
and you,
it.
Holly, actually had this conversation because like people probably think we're quite confident in that we've no issue standing in front of a camera and chatting, taking a few pictures, posting about the town. But like Holly was like, whenever she was starting the reformer, she was like, Danielle, I'm actually so nervous. Like, will
Yeah,
you
my
meet
tummy
me
and all was
outside?
so funny.
And I was like, I think that's so important to say out, because I think people think, oh, confident people have no issue in other. But I think when anything is new to you.
But I think the reformers now, in fairness, you walk into that reformer room and like the first time, it's like, it is a lot. And then when it was, well, I definitely have some form of, I don't know, kind of dyspraxia or something. It's not good with my, like, I can never, I don't know my left from my right. I always, I'm
You
the
said
one
to Laura, turn around that corner there, and she walked straight.
Yeah,
Like,
you know,
okay.
I can't.
No.
So then when they're saying to me about change the bands and all, I have to really concentrate.
Yes.
To actually, and I'm the one that, if it's your left arm, I'm on the right side.
I'm a bit like that.
So I understand the reformer fear, because
Well,
it is
do
a
you know
lot.
what? I actually just said to Ashley this morning, I am so patronising, because the amount of people that have said to me, what if I said, what are you doing? I'm going for a reformer Pilates. I'm like, oh, how lovely. That is not lovely.
It's not, but
It's
it is.
really
You
not.
come out and you feel great, no?
Yeah, oh, I
really
do.
tough.
And I actually have to say that, Sarah, so that Reformer 54 is where we went last week. Danielle says, let's go for a slow flow stretch. I said, oh, that sounds great. Q walking in, Danielle says, if you've Pilates socks. I was like, what would I need them for? I'm going to a mat. No, I was on a reformer. But anyway, the girls in the class were so lovely, and that's what I mean about it. The community that seems to come from it is really nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Sarah, I have to say, it was so good with me, because it was my first one.
And the classes, the reformer classes, by their nature, are quite small. So you actually
Yes.
do
Yeah.
feel like you are getting
Yeah.
a bit of
Yes.
one-to-one, which is good.
So good.
And
so
I think
good.
everyone knows to start at somewhere. So there's nobody in the class absolutely flying it. Like, everyone's struggling at some point. So you're kind of that, like, sort of community and pain together. And
Oh,
it
I just
kinda
had to,
comes.
I don't know how many times I laughed, and then people were laughing at me, because I was
Yeah.
like, oh, balls, this
And
is
it was a night time
awful.
as well. I was mind blown that I cannot, like, think of going out of the house at night either.
8
Like,
o'clock?
I couldn't
No.
go back. No, it
8
wouldn't
till
be.
8:45.
Do it in the
Yeah.
mat, maybe at home, but see at night.
But you know what? There was something lovely about it, because I'm trying to see if I can make it work for this
yeah.
Wednesday night. I
Yeah.
don't think I can,
Same,
but I'm
like,
really
go
trying
to bed.
hard to
I
change
think the
stuff.
reformer's not too bad. Those ones that you're not super sweaty in, because you can kind of, like, I had my, like, basically skincare done, like makeup off.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you
know,
see me
cream-
coming out of that class? Are you joking? The sweat
You
was coming
should
out
be
of
able
me
to
everywhere.
basically just,
Yeah,
sort
well,
of
I did the
quick
reformer.
shove
I'm
them
not,
in a bit.
but I wouldn't have sweated that much. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I would have come out and been fine. That's what I used to say. You could nearly go to work now. You might have to
Yeah.
do a wee
Oh,
wash
this
under
morning
your
I
arm.
had
A wee
to
wet
go-
wipe or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
Literally, I'd done my makeup in the car, and then I come in and had to do a wee tramp wash at the sink, because I was like, no, I can't be around people today. And that was only half an hour. But anyway, it was fantastic.
But I feel like I'm one of the, do you know all those memes that goes around Instagram, and it's like, I really want to be a Pilates queen, but unless I'm like like in the middle of cardiac arrest, I don't feel like I've worked out, and I'm a wee bit like that.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Well, you
sort
see,
of-
the only exercise I would do is spin. Don't
Yeah.
love anything else. And the only reason I love spin is because you sit stationary and you don't have to look like a dick walking around the place, running around the
Very
place.
sore on- like, I find,
no.
like,
You
do you
get
not find
past
this
it,
with
though.
cycling?
If you haven't been cycling ages, but
Yeah.
if you're a cyclist, you build
get
up. It's a bit
used
like
to it.
everything. You build up resistance, but right up in, it's like
It's
So sore, and even when you
sore,
try to
yeah.
go to the toilet the next day. But the reason I love it is because the sweat is dripping down my nose. Like, it's just,
Yeah,
I
that's
know
a bit
I
like
come
me.
out
Yeah.
and I'm stinking.
You
I'm like,
feel a
"Hope
wee
nobody
bit like
sees
a
me."
hero, like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I have smashed
Yeah.
this. No matter how you looked in the class or how you actually achieved, you're just like, this proves that I
was good. Literally. No,
Because
literally.
we have like the Pilates teacher that I go to for my hot hit and stuff. Like, whenever you're sweating, because I go to a lot of the hot classes, I'm like, oh, I'm sweating so much, and he's like, it's not sweat, it's your fat crying. Great. I'm like,
Sizzle me up.
So now in my head, I'm like, cry, fat cry. So the sweatier, the better. Do you know what I mean?
What? And how do you find the hot classes?
I love them. Absolutely love them.
See, it wouldn't it because my hair, I would not, honestly, there's no exercise that would overcome me doing a blow dry. No way.
I love it. You know what though?
Do you have to wash your hair straight? Like,
You are
couldn't.
absolutely when you come out of that room, it looks like you've jumped into a swimming pool.
Unless I
And
was
like,
going
I'm
for
not a
blow
big
dry after.
sweater, like, and but see your skin and everything after. Do you see for like that? I was reading a thing recently, and you know, like everyone's really promoting like sauna use and all now, because apparently for reduction in Alzheimer's and all, it's absolutely
Inflammation of the body,
It's
yeah.
a big thing. So I'm like, I don't have time to sit for 20 minutes in the sauna every other day. I hopefully will
Don't
get to
know you're
that
trying to
point.
build them at their house. So my cousin is one.
It's
It
got
looks
big,
amazing. Yeah.
absolutely. But I feel like the hot class doubles up. Like, I've got a class in, and it's like 40-degree heat, so I'm like, surely that is like. But the toxins.
But
and
there's
all
supposed to be something about it for the recovery of your muscles and all too, because Russell is mad into it with him being so active, and mum and dad have one, and he's out. If only they lived closer, he'd be in it every night. But he swears by it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you need to go. And even last week, when I could not walk after you took me to that class, he was like, go up to the sauna, and I was like, no, honestly, I can't. And then this is another thing. It sounds like a bad excuse, but Laura can back me up on this. But you see, within here and having to do content pretty much every day, you need your tan to be right. You need your hair to be right.
I get that.
Do you know what I mean? And people are like, oh, so you can't go because you've your tan done. I'm like, yeah.
But I do get that, because in the hot classes, it does absolutely ruin your class. Like, I try to time it round and tan exfoliation. So like when I know I need to take it out, I'm like, that'll give it a good wee lift.
In the perfect world, you would go and, you know, you would have your blow dry booked after.
Absolutely.
You would be doing all them lovely things.
But you decided to own your own brand.
You decided to have a life, so you can't do everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to you, Danielle, and like home life, work life, just the balance of it all. Tell us a bit about you in general, because for anyone that doesn't know you, I'm sure most people do, but there will be people that don't know you. We want them to know you.
So I actually feel like this year is the first year I feel like there's some sort of order in the chaos. Like, life is chaotic, but I feel like both girls are at school. My youngest, Marla, started P1.
How's she getting on?
She loves it.
Brilliant.
She runs on in, which I'm so delighted for, because I think that's the hardest part for mummies. My Elsie, my older girl, she really struggled and cried, and that attachment, and it broke my heart. It was really hard. Whereas she runs in, which makes life easier, sort of thing. So I feel like we've kind of got a pattern till our day now. We get up, both are going to school, I'm getting work done, which was always the struggle of when to work, because it's great working for yourself, but the whole idea of working for yourself, it's constant. And also you want the flexibility. So technically, if there is like a school play on, or if there's a lift to school, you're like, technically I can do this because it's only me that I have to check this with, but I also then need to make time for the thing that I'm not getting done later on. So it means a lot of late nights, or it means a lot of sitting in bed constantly on emails and things like that. And like, you can only do that for so long, do you know what I mean, without total burnout. So I'm feeling like now I'm getting that wee pocket of time back to do work, so that I can still be, it's like, I laugh because I tell everyone I'm like a stay-at-home mum, but like, that works.
You're not,
but you know what I mean, because I want to do all the stay-at-home mum stuff.
But you're still marketing, doing marketing as well, though. Like, I don't think people realise that, Danielle.
I know. So I just have like sort of core clients and things like that I do. I used to do a lot of content creation for clients, for marketing clients. Now I more or less do strategies, meetings. I call them like brainstormers. Sometimes I find in small businesses, and Laura, you probably can appreciate more than anything, you've grown from that small business team and mentality, but when you're the owner, the accountant, the marketing person, the salesperson, it's lonely, and also your head's frazzled. So sometimes I come to people when I meet up with someone and like I'm throwing out ideas, they're like, wow, but to me they're not wow ideas. It's just I have the luxury to sit down and think of it.
Externally looking in.
Absolutely.
Which is amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's just even the time to think, because if you're sometimes sitting down and thinking of marketing ideas is a bit of a luxury. Do you know what I mean?
Because and it's hard. Yeah. So sometimes you need somebody to bounce it off. Yeah,
absolutely. So it's more just like brainstorming, and you just see people coming alive across the table. You really do, because they're nearly in burnout mode because they're trying to do everything, but yet there's a reason when you bring it back that they started this business, to say they're a passion for something in particular, or a want to live that sort of a life, you know, where you are owning your own brand or business. So whenever we chat, we come up with ideas, and you can see that passion and fire coming back. So it's as much like a mentoring / like marketing brainstorm as anything else. And I love them because I come out buzzing because they're buzzing, do you know, that sort of. So that's kind of like my real life job. And then I obviously do Instagram work, some brand ambassador work, and then the rest of my life is basically spent ferrying children to their activities, which I felt that they needed. It was all my fault. I said, let's get them into loads of stuff because they'll be all-rounded, well-rounded human beings. And now I'm like, why did I start them in so many activities? So between taxiing and then when that finishes, the gym.
That's mad, honestly. And like you said the other night that sometimes you work out twice in a day.
Yeah, regularly. Like I would do,
Janelle, like you're making me dizzy.
Like this morning, I would try to do a 5K 3 or 4 times a week in the morning. Like we call it the 6 a.m. club. It's hilarious because it's really me and about 3 other girls. But
Holly's going to be in that club.
Absolutely,
she is 100% going to be in it. But like the other day, one of the girls said, like somebody stopped her and was like, "Oh, I hear you're in the 6 a.m. run club," and we were laughing because we were like, "We are the run club." There isn't really. It's literally just.
Let's get a thing going if you want to join the 6 a.m. run club. Where do you
I will not be there.
At the minute we're just sort of going around Boulevard and stuff, just anywhere that's bright and lit, because obviously it's got quite dark. And
is Go Coffee, can you get a coffee after?
It starts at 6. It opens at 6 as well, so it's all good. So I try to do that in the morning, or else like a hot hit class, and then I usually do my strength training or high rock training in the evening.
Well, I've only recently started weights in the last like few months.
Class.
And I'm really getting into them. Like I did a weights class this morning, but I find it probably hard because I'm not a gym person, so it's a lot of learning for me as well.
But this is what people don't understand with the gym, with the weights and stuff. It's like somebody's like, stick that up on that rack, and you're like, a rack?
It's all about posture and everything.
But it's not even, it's like how to even set it up. You feel, I think that's the biggest intimidation of starting the gym, is like not knowing. You can watch the YouTube videos and understand how to do the exercise, but you go to the machine, you're like, how do I turn this on?
Yeah.
Where do I put
Well,
that
I would not
pin?
go to a gym without Jared. Jared does all that. He just sets it up and I just sit on, like
Yeah.
if we go to the gym
Yeah.
in a hotel or something. But yeah, no, I definitely think the weights are making a difference.
Yeah, 100%. For your definition and your tone, you definitely need
Well, I'm
the
not
strength.
there yet now,
But
but-
also, I think for like kids, I think I've spun it a bit. Like back in the day before I had kids, I worked out to be fit, you know, to be lean, because you know you were going for that sort of like lifestyle thing. Whereas now, well, it's still lifestyle, but I feel like now, like Elsie's 7 and like she's a strong 7-year-old, but she's like, lift me up the stairs, mum. And I'm like, yes.
I think as you get older, you work out for longevity. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You really start to really appreciate your body, I think. And especially Pilates has got me into that mindset of like, if you can move your body, you're winning every day. And the more that you can move it, you know, you really appreciate your body. So it's not for me about losing weight. Yes, it'd be great if I was toned and lovely. And
You are
great.
toned and lovely,
But
yeah.
do you know what I mean? For me, it's more like, you know, I don't want to be the old mommy. I don't want to be. And yes, life can happen.
Absolutely.
But I think the more you appreciate your body now, you know, it'll thank you for
You
it.
can only help yourself. And
down the
like
line.
even Elsie says to me, when can I go to the gym with you, mum? Because obviously that's where I'm going in the evening. It's the only place they don't come with me. So she's like, when can I come? I'm like, well, technically there's like teen gym that you can go with you're supervised from your 13 or 14. So I'm like, I want to still be at this level of fitness when she's
when
coming
she
and watching
is,
me in the gym. And
yeah.
then she inspires me to keep going. You see all these people in high rocks races that it's like mum and daughter. Like
The
and
kids
then-
are there too.
Absolutely. And the mum might be 70 and I'm just like, that is just like I would love that for us.
Yeah, me
you know.
I know. And I think as well though, like I don't find joy in going out for a walk. You love going for a walk to clear your head, Laura. That for me doesn't do
Bronson?
it.
No, you don't.
I'll take him out, but it's not like I still will come home and be like, you know, my head's still going because I think too much then. Whereas I find when you do exercise, I can't do anything but focus on what I'm doing.
That's what I love
Try and
about
stay
Pilates,
alive,
because
that
I
I'm
need
like,
my
I
phone to
to.
look at the screen, and I cannot, even if there's no, I can see some of the notifications, but I would not stop a Pilates class for love nor money if no matter what's happening type thing.
You have to zone out.
No, definitely. And I think as well, just that feeling, I love going to bed tired. I love going to bed exhausted, that I'm like, oh. Now sometimes then I'm like, oh my days. But honestly, I just think,
Because 9 times out of
into
10,
a
life
routine.
makes you think you're exhausted.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's your brain. It's not actually your
Yeah.
body that's exhausted. Do you know what I mean?
And even at that, when we go to bed and we relax, or even when we sit on the couch, like the phone is on, the TV is on, your brain is going 90. There's no such thing as actually just sitting down. So sometimes those sort of exercise moments are just that time to just clear and settle. I love
And
it.
talk to me about meal prep, because I always be looking at all your food. And you and your husband, I think that's another good point to make, is your husband's into it too, because I think if
Yes.
only one person in the house is trying so hard, it can be difficult too.
Yeah, and I think me and Peter are probably the balance. I'm very much exercise. I love the sport. I love the movement side of it. I could be easily convinced into eating absolute tripe if I wanted to, whereas he's very nutrition focused and he's less about the gym. He just goes whenever 2 or 3 times a week. But he started massively to look at his dad, mainly because of like feeling like sort of just like feeling crappy all the time. He's like, you know what, there's got to be better than this. So he cooks a lot of like mince and stuff up during the day, like extra eggs and stuff, so they're there. And I'm sort of the sort of person, when you're running from pillar to post, if it's there, I love healthy food, I love eating well. Sometimes just the chaos of life.
Yeah,
if I'm
it's a
not
convenience
prepped,
thing.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
sometimes I just have to grab and go because there's a swimming lesson, there's a meeting, there's whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or when you're doing a lot of meetings, I know you probably find it too. Coffees.
Yeah.
And like then you're like, well, I just grab something here now when I'm doing it, and there's a pastry or something in it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not villainizing that, like now and again, but when you're in that routine that a lot of your life is coffee shop
Constant,
meetings, because
yeah.
anywhere I'm meeting clients is usually a coffee shop. So if you get into that habit, then all of a sudden you're having pastries twice a day with your coffee, do you know, that sort of way. So I find him batch cooking a wee bit more, and the stuff being cooked in the house is making me
so much easier.
eat it, and then it goes like that, falls back on the girls too. Like Marla had to fill in a wee thing for P1, you know, your favorite color, your favorite friend, your favorite food, all this, and like it's like, what is this square box she has drawn in the food? And she was like, steak. So like she was
my
down for like
days.
her favourite food is steak, and I was just like, you don't realise how much they're picking up and learning.
She's
and
gonna
doing.
go and say, that's a very bougie house, steak for their dinner every night.
So she was like, so I was like, I don't even realise they're listening, and they'll say things to us like, is this healthy, mum? And I'm like, yeah, well, every food is fine.
Yes.
And some we can eat more of than others. You know, we try to keep that mindset as
My
well.
Austrian, like, is it with sugar? You know, I am obsessed with sugar, because my second is, he has the sweetest tooth. It's not even, it's beyond, like, it actually is like he's diabetes waiting to happen, like.
Laura.
No, he is like,
He just craves it.
like his eyes light up. It's like, whereas Charlie does not. He doesn't like. He doesn't at all.
Isn't bothered. Yeah.
But I'm like, it's just got a lot of sugar, and you can eat a wee bit of sugar, and once a day it's fine, but not all the time.
Yeah.
And it's trying to just get them in.
It's also just trying to fill them. Like I find, like I've such a sugary tooth as well, but it's more because I'm literally living on it. You know yourself, you're running again from pillar to post. But I find now that I try to eat these mince bowls. Like that's my big thing at the minute. So like either turkey mince or steak mince with 2 or 3 eggs, avocado, and a wee bit of like
chili oil or something.
Chili oil or like that Parma Reggiano,
or cottage cheese.
And cottage cheese.
How do you get on with your cottage cheese?
It's all right. It's so bland that it just mixes up and looks like mayo. And
put hot honey on it.
Yeah,
I do cottage cheese with hot honey.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
then your mince, you know, in your bowl.
Yes,
it's
and
lovely,
just mix it all up. And honestly, that fills me for about 5 hours.
Yeah, hot honey is the one.
Yeah, so I feel like that kind of works. So that's kind of where we are at the minute with the food and all.
No, it's just constantly. And then this week, I don't know about you, but Charlie's in P2. Oh my god,
lunches.
Like there was 13 pages of homework to be done before Friday.
No, I have to say their school's very good. Like so, Elsie went through P1 and P2 with no homework.
P1
and P2 no homework, just spellings and reading. That's all they concentrate on.
Wow.
Which I'm like big advocate. I don't know if I'm advocating from an educational sense or
I'm not giving out, but I'm just at all
to fit in.
I'm like, it's a step.
What is the homework?
Like it could some of it could be like, tell me about your favourite toy. So you draw it and then you tell.
Well,
like
still, for a P2 that takes like 20 minutes.
Last night, we actually Jared and I had a swap at one stage because his concentration level is it's not good. Like mine is it not either. I know.
I was going to say, is this your mini me you're doing your homework with?
But I also think, Laura, do you not think as well? Like we spend our whole the whole thought process now is like rounded human beings, rounded people, like so you're maybe not into sport, that's fine, you can push more for the creativity, the singing or the academics or whatever. If you're not into academics, then you can push more for sports and creativity or whatever. And I feel like if a child does from 9 to 2 in school, that's their academics, and I know they do a mix in school, but that's mainly a lot of academics. And I feel like then if you're trying to fit in like dance school, singing, you know, sports and all after, and some family time and some reading or something like that, like there just isn't a lot of time for
literally you have read my mind, because last night I was like, he had piano after school day and that was fine. I came home and he was supposed to go to kickboxing. The two of them go to kickboxing on a Monday and a Thursday, which is maybe too much. Maybe need to cut that down. But Jared even said, he was like, Laura, no kickboxing tonight because they're exhausted. Do you know what I mean? Louis just started preschool and he's just second week of P2, and it's like, you know, after piano it was enough and then homework, you know.
But do you think that concentration level, he's concentrated, behaved all day and then he's tried to do piano, and I played piano, and honestly like that does take a lot of concentration.
He's only a week too, like don't think the concentration
honestly chopsticks a lot. It does, but you're just like, what was that? See that's like you're like trying to get it. So I was like, it is a lot for them, and like you kind of want them, and I'm like, you don't know how they're going to fare out like academically, like so I want them to feel achieved in something else, you know, that sort of way. So if that is like their sports or whatever, that they're looking forward to,
you're
that
trying to like just always get the balance right. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know where that balance. But then I was thinking, like, you know, you can't help thinking, where are these houses that have 5 and 6 kids? What? How did they do it? I'm like, this is
absolute unreal.
I always go back to Russell's mum. There's 5 of them. And like they were all at school at the same time, like they're all close in age, and Alison was a full-time nurse, and then whenever I started going out with Russell, which 17 years ago maybe, and she was training to do her counselling degree, so it was like when I went in she was constantly in the books and all. But yeah, they all talk about, like Lauren talks about the minibus, used to drop them off in the morning, she hates it, and then but homework's at night time. And then Alison actually got into night shift, so Gordon would have been working, she'd have been home with the kids during the day, he had to come home then, he had a construction business, and then Alison would have been in on night shift. Like how
superwoman.
I suppose just at the time, you know, she probably didn't know any different.
Do you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I only have 2, it's not that difficult, but you definitely can't help think to yourself, there's a reason that people have smaller families when they're trying to balance it all, because it is pretty much impossible.
Yeah, absolutely did. But it was so funny actually. I was like home yesterday and she was like, I was trying to work out, she was like, Mum, did I do bobtail? And I was like, for ages. I was like, bobtail, ages. Turned out she was like, baptism.
Oh my word.
Was I baptized?
I was like, yes, she worked. She was like, I didn't know, so I just told the teacher I would check. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do another thing I'm slipping on here. Do you know what I mean? You're like, you think you're doing something, and then she was like, I just said I didn't really know. She was like, there was a few of us didn't know, and the teacher just sent us so we could fill it in at home.
Our ones would not know. My boys wouldn't even have a clue what you were talking about.
But it was so funny because she was like, we have to write where and when and all this, and what the priest was called. And I was like, what the priest was called?
You lost me there, Ted.
I need to go and speak to your granny about that one.
No way.
So funny, like, but it's just like there's always something. Do you know what I mean? You're never going to get it all, and it's okay.
Listen, I hear you, girl, but I was like, whoo, this is a lot. I think I'm only just getting into this now with the boys. You've got a wee bit of practice, like, but
I also think it's like because we're kind of perfectionists by nature, so you think that everything has to be done right. Like, there's probably like, I feel like we just whirled away at our homework, and if it was right, it was right, and if it wasn't, it wasn't. Do you know? Whereas I feel like I'm like, no, you rewrite that. I don't want the teacher to think I haven't, sat down properly and done this.
See, even primary school was different, obviously, but secondary school was great because I've always been into my handwriting, so I always loved doing good handwriting.
Time with Charlie.
So I used to forge my own notes for no homework, and then everybody used to come to me and be like, Holly, will you write me a note to get me out early today? Holly, will you write me a note for no homework? And I was like, yep. So I could have perfected everybody's, and I would have just looked at somebody's handwriting, and then I would have been able to like mirror it as close as what I could. So I was just the constant note writer, so I always got away with no homework.
You're such a troublemaker in school. I love that.
My homework,
and you're constantly trying to explain to them why they should learn a word or why, you know what I mean? He's like, I don't really care how to spell sit. You know what I mean?
Do you not feel like you didn't why as much? Like, I feel like I'm a pretty intelligent person, right? But there's so much in life when I look back that I just accepted. Like, mom would be like, this is this, you're doing this, and I'd be like, okay. Or the teacher would say, this means this, and you would go, okay.
Yeah.
My children are like, why? And how does that work? And what do you mean? What does that mean? And I'm like, God, I don't know. You don't ask these questions. This is just like basic stuff. I'm like, that is such a curious mind, which we, like, I feel like I didn't question as many things.
No.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't know. I'll never be prepared for that. Thanks.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, don't ask your teacher.
I know. I was trying to say, like, last night, you want to be able to read your book. He loves reading. So I'm like, you want to be able to read these books on your own, Charlie, don't you? You want to be able to get into bed at night and be able to read your own book and love it. And he was like, like looking at me going, I don't really care. That has got nothing to do with my spelling test, how I spell sit. It has nothing to do with nothing. Don't even try and bullshit me.
And you can kind of get that a wee bit too. But your Marla's like, I don't need to read, Mum. We just listen to the Tony's box. And I'm like,
I know.
They live in a world where they don't really need to do anything. Like, they can, like, there's an option
for everything,
for absolutely everything.
Marla, she is your wild child, and Elsie's your more calm.
Yes, Marla is my absolute
balloon.
Rocket. Yeah, absolute rocket. I go between.
Our lady not need to meet, by the way.
I go through phases of having her up for adoption versus like, oh my God, I adore this child, which I obviously do, but she just pushes every limit. But I always say she reminds me of my youngest sister. So like, I feel like she's kind of always in trouble till a sense. There's no real badness in it, but she just loves to push buttons. But then I find that she's the one I'm talking about, going like, oh, she done this.
Really, it's a bit of crack.
And I remember that about my sister, like us, me and Aunt and my other sister, like always trying our best to behave, and Catherine was always a wee bit more like pushing it. And I remember Mummy and Daddy being cross with her and us being like, smug. But then they would be like, what do you hear with Catherine? And everyone kind of laugh. And she always got away with stuff because people, it's an endearing quality.
Yeah,
and I see that with Marla. Like,
and you don't want to knock that out of them either. No. You know what I mean?
It's like a wee bit of a mix, but it's like such an endearing quality. Like, other people are like, oh, she's class. And I'm like, yeah, but try living with her all the time. She's just so funny. But yeah, no, absolute madness. It's mad how you can birth two children and have them completely different.
And Elsie, so tell me about Elsie then. She's just calm.
Elsie is probably more like me personality wise, wants to get everything right, has to do everything by the book. Like, my sister laughs at me all the time because even when we were younger and go to the cinema, if we had a cinema ticket, it wouldn't matter if the cinema was empty, I sat in the right seat.
Okay.
She was like, Danielle, we can just move one over. And I'm like, no, this is our seat. What if they check it? This is where we sit. And like, that same sister would be the person that, if you're at an airport lounge, you're like, will we nip in here? Like, I feel like you, Holly, you'd be a bit like that person, like going nip in here. I'd be like, no, we cannot. We don't have the right, tickets. Like, I do everything
that might be
right.
me, actually.
That
Holly's
is
like, don't you dare. I'm like, come on, no.
Give it a go. But it's like that. And also, I wish it was a wee bit more like that, because like, if somebody said get out, you'd be like, oh, sorry, no worries. Like, and that's all that comes to it. But I have this thing about just being, doing everything by the book, and Elsie is very much like that too, bless her. But
I think that shines through with you. Like, I would use the word genuine. You're very like, you're down the line.
I am. I struggle, even if I can't not be. It's just the way it makes me awkward, and it makes me really like I can't, like I really struggle with not doing things as they're supposed to be done. Do you know, that sort of way? I do wish there was a wee bit more of flexibility, but there's just not, you know, that sort of way. But
that's a good thing though.
Yeah, she's 7 now, so I
can't believe about Elsie. Elsie was a twin.
Elsie was a twin, yes. So that's something I share quite a bit with online. So I was expecting girls, and we found out we lost her sister Ellie in around 22 weeks. So quite late on, in a sense that, you know, you kind of feel people sort of
you were mentally prepared for twins. You were building up to it, and it was your first as well.
It was my first pregnancy, yes. And it's like people also kind of say, we get to 20 weeks. There's that wee sort of thing that people have, you know, you've got their...
Oh, totally. You know, and when you get that scan...
Yeah, you're kind of like there with it. Yes. So it was a big shock, a big hurt. And I do think it was probably spiraled for a few things. Like when we were talking about getting back into fitness, I feel like that was the point where nothing else mattered for a wee while. So I lost all that heart for fitness. That's probably when the weight started to come on a wee bit more, when everything else just got pushed to the sideline, because I suppose then, because I obviously still had Elsie, so with the twin pregnancy, obviously I had both girls to carry, so then the whole
the remainder of that pregnancy must have just been
absolutely I just wanted her out there, but also I kind of wanted to keep her safe. It was just such a
mixed emotion.
Yes. And in some ways people are like, that must have been so hard grief wise, and it was, but the fact that I was sort of fighting for Elsie in a way, do you know what I mean? It gave me a different headspace in a way. I always say, like, she kind of saved me, because I feel like with that loss on its own, I would have really went down. Whereas I was like, right, that's horrible and I'm going to deal with that, but I need to sort of park this slightly for now, because I have a little girl I have to stay healthy with, because I feel like I could have just went on the couch, ate crap, not moved, done anything, but I tried. I was like, right, you still need to eat your you know, you need to get your goodness into your nutrients.
Look after your body,
you need to go
look
for
after
a walk. Yes, exactly, because you're doing this not for you, but you need to do this for this other baby, to give her a chance, because it's not her fault that you know, this situation has happened. So that kind of kept me going. And then
and I think as well, I'm only just thinking out loud here, the grief never ends, don't get me wrong, but with a twin, the grief will continue, because you will constantly, the milestones will be constantly have a sense of grief. Absolutely.
It's like every sort of, there's a girl that I met actually through losing Ellie, like having a twin loss, but I just met her online. She was maybe the year before me or something, same, and she just kind of messaged me. You know, when someone just gets it and we just sort of clicked. Online's amazing for so many things, and connecting people that maybe you wouldn't connect with in normal day-to-day life. Yeah, exactly. So she coined a term saying happy heartache, and it always stuck with me.
I can imagine that.
It's like, you know, whenever they start school or they walk, or, you know, even like starting P1
or their birthdays.
Yes, their birthdays every single year. It's like you're happy for you're so grateful that this little girl is thriving and doing so well, and making you so proud, but you're also like the heartaches there because there should be two of them. Yes.
Oh, I can
appreciate that sort of way. So there's a lot of that. And also I've always been quite open with Elsie. I feel like from a very child appropriate way, like we don't get very heavy into grief or death or anything like that, but she's always known she was a twin, and that her sister lives above the clouds. We just say it like that. But as she gets older, she asks more questions naturally, and she remembers thinking, she's like, do you think Ellie would like this? And Mum, on our birthday, can we do this? And I think that's like the gut hit, you know, as in her saying it, because I think I felt like it hit me hard losing a baby, which obviously it does, but you see, seeing the loss through her eyes, you know, she's like, I wish she was here, Mum, and imagine my twin sister was here, and then you're kind of like, oh my gosh, it's not just my loss, you know, or Pete's loss, or like it's very much, it's her loss nearly more so than anyone's, you know, that sort of way, which is really tough. But she's great, like, and I became brand ambassador for the Little Forget Me Nots Trust.
Yes, talk about this, because it's amazing.
So they're a fabulous charity, based in Lurgan actually, and Louise, their founder, had, you know, lost her own little boy, Reuben, and she just decided there isn't enough support, particularly through baby loss, early loss and child loss.
And did you find that too, Danielle?
Absolutely. But then people say to me, did you get any help? And I was like, no. But then in my head, I had lost a baby, but I didn't. I was also carrying.
Yeah.
So it was a hard situation.
And probably hard for you to accept, like, help at that time around loss, because you were also focusing on
absolutely
the birth.
Yes, absolutely.
And keeping this baby safe.
So I potentially, it's a bit harsh for me to say I didn't get any help because I maybe didn't look for it.
Yeah.
And I suppose if, you know, some of those charities like Sans and all had got involved, I might have been, I don't know, offended, but I wouldn't have known how to sort of process that either. But I find like it's hard. I think particularly people that lose babies very early on, it's hard one because they've potentially not told family and friends. So then how do you then it's a very hard conversation to open up, because you're opening up to conversations that's hard to talk about, you know, that, you know, you didn't tell people this, but also now you've lost, and people's reactions are hard, like, and it's not through any fault of their own, but like I just think loss in general, grief in general, is a hard subject to talk about.
It is. It's hard to approach. It's a difficult one on like, if you're the person trying to approach it or trying to help someone, you don't know what's right for wrong a lot of the time. You don't want to set them off, but also you want to acknowledge.
Absolutely.
So it's always like the balance of where that lies, I think, is always hard.
100%. And it's like one of those things that nobody is setting out to hurt you, whether it's like that they haven't said enough or they've said the wrong thing.
They've said something.
Yeah.
And
you know,
everybody says, like,
I am that person.
You know,
I put my foot in it all the time, and in my head I'm like, don't say it, and then I say it, and I don't mean to, or I'll say the most stupidest things. It's probably so condescending to them that I don't mean it to be in that way. Do you know what I mean?
But also in somebody's headspace, condescending to one person isn't till another.
Yeah,
and I think it
exactly,
depends on where you are on that day, where your headspace is, how you're feeling. Like sometimes things annoy you that probably wouldn't the next day or the day
100%.
before, and that is just it. So it's a very hard topic. I think particularly with baby loss before birth, it can be so tough, because for a lot of those mummies and daddies, like, they go home from hospital and that is it, you know. There's nothing to signify it. And sometimes I think grief's never easy. Grief is just crap in general. But sometimes whenever someone has seen someone or has a photo of them or had memories of them, there's a wee, that approaching the topic afterwards, you can go, I remember the day they did this, or wasn't it lovely to see that. They can use stories and memories to kind of fill that awkwardness, or to kind of have that conversation. Whereas if you've never met this little person, people just avoid the topic because they have absolutely nothing to say, and I can get that from that point of view. It makes it really, really hard for the family that's going through it, because people just ignore it because they have nothing to say it, you know, that sort of way. So Little Forget Me Nots Trust, they're brilliant. They do loads of different projects. They have different projects and initiatives for different stages of loss. They do loads of fundraising. They'll be doing all the Wave of Life stuff that's going on. And I actually helped them start up an initiative called Cloud Post recently, which has been so lovely. So this was an idea because I said, like, Elsie and Marla have always known that they have a little sister that lives above the clouds. So naturally, when they're drawing their pictures for people, they draw one for Ellie all the time, or they were writing wee notes and stuff. And they're like, Mum, can we post this to her? I was just like, right, so the poor Royal Mail, like, there's just random stuff fired in there because they wanted to actually post it. I'm like,
fine.
Who am I to stop them doing that? That's right. Somebody actually said to me afterwards, and I was like, Danielle, why did you never think about this? They're like, you should have just put your address on the back, and they would have returned them to you, or put a like stamp on it, and they would have returned it to you. You would have them. I was like, I never thought of that, because I would love them back now. Like, because over the last 18 months,
you let them put them in the post.
I let them because they had to. She had to put it in. She is my child. We do this right.
I'll pop it in the post today. I'm out and about.
So Marla would have got away with this. I was like, no, I need to see it.
Yeah, fair.
So I should have put the address on it. But anyway, they love this, and it was very cathartic. It was catchy cathartic for me, because writing things is easier, and they were like, seeing her the way she processed things was lovely. So we used to do that, and I was like, wouldn't this be lovely to have to do, that we didn't have to like fill up Royal Mail, that we could actually just have our own.
Post it somewhere.
So we've created Cloud Post. So it's a little white post box. It is an old Royal Mail box that we have, like, it's all been painted, done up, it's white. It's called it's in memory of Ellie. And it's a wee travelling post box, so it goes around community groups, it's going around schools. So hopefully our local schools will have it as well. There's a few schools down to have it, and basically we bring it into a classroom, a hall, a coffee morning, and anyone there can write letters
to their siblings or to someone that they know,
to their daughter, to their, you know, to their grandparents, to their pet dog.
It's not just baby loss.
Because no, it obviously came from that charity, and that's what it's supporting. But you can have it because loss is loss. So
I love this.
People that find it hard to maybe talk about, or maybe has never talked about it,
that's
you
amazing.
can write letters to notes, and even if it's a special occasion, maybe it's a special date, whether it's a loss date or a birthday date or whatever, you can write a little note. There's little envelopes. You post it. It goes into the post box, and the charity will respectfully, dispose of that, and there's a few different options for that, but it mainly will go into compost and baby gardens, shredded up sort of thing. But it's that catharticness of getting something off your chest, whether that's anger, whether that's sadness, whether that's just like, this is what's happening in my life right now and I want to tell you about it. But there's that connection, and the whole point of Cloud Post for me was that to allow connection after loss, which obviously came from the girls, and particularly Elsie, who I feel like has that connection, needs to make that connection, and wants to keep Ellie updated with her life. So that came from her, but it's been so good for so many. And you see, we had the first launch of it over in Oxford Island actually during the summer, and I thought it was emotional for me in a way, because I was like, this is a lot for me. But you see, actually sitting back and watching other mums and dads and siblings and grannies posting and getting so emotional, I was like, it's bigger than you, do you know, that sort of way. And it just showed that it just matters to so many people. And the other side of wanting to do Cloud Post and having it in schools and all is that I feel, as adults, this whole back to the taboo around grief and us being awkward, like we were brought up that way by no fault of anyone, but that was society. We don't talk, like, don't say anything to them about that, don't upset them, don't upset them. And that was what it came from. It comes from a good place. Don't upset them, don't annoy them, do you know, that sort of. But it's meant that we're awkward adults now at dealing with grief, and people, particularly baby loss, like, how do you deal with, I've had friends come to me in like recent years, I'm like, Danielle, I was a crap friend then. I'm like, no, you weren't, you didn't know how to do anything any different, I agree, and you didn't want to hurt or annoy me. So the whole idea of even having these in schools is that it opens that topic of grief up at a very young age. Like, they mightn't be like, oh, my dog died and whatever, like, yeah, it's sad, but like, we can still, you know, that's okay, they're in a good place, you know, there's different ways of having a conversation around it, that they get used to saying, that person doesn't be here anymore. And that's okay. It makes my heart sad. It makes me cry sometimes, but that's okay. And you can say it out loud to another person without it being awkward. So it's even to have those conversations open up a little bit from a very early age, that hopefully they don't have to experience it for a very long time. But if they do, or if they find themselves in years to come with a friend who's went through baby loss, or themselves, that they maybe feel better placed. Like, remember when that Cloud Post used to come through schools, or they feel they can have a more open conversation on loss. So that was kind of the whole.
It's fab.
And so that was one of the projects that I did with them, but they obviously do a lot more. So yeah, I think we're in a very positive way of
I know you're a very positive person, though. Like,
but I think
it
you've
really
turned it into like such a positive thing, which is incredible. Which so many people, and it's very hard to do that. You need to be a certain type, you know, and a lot of people struggle very, very quietly, and that's okay to do that too. That's okay.
And that is the other point of it. It's like, grief is grief, and how you choose to grieve is absolutely your prerogative. Do you know? It's not. People say about, talk about it and say their name, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big proponent of say their name, like, but if they don't want to,
that's okay too.
Absolutely. If you don't have a name, if you don't want to say the name, if you need to keep that inside, that's absolutely fine. It's about doing what suits you. The whole say their name thing and talking out loud about it is more because I feel that's the side of things that people have struggled with because of worrying about the reaction of other people. So now, if you can at least feel like you can do that freely, that's one. If you're the talk about it type, go for it. And if you're not, then you can do it as it is. But
that's incredible. Will we get in some listeners' questions?
Yes, I was going to say I would do listeners' questions and wrap it up.
Yeah, we've got a few just again about the gym here, Danielle. So how do you manage the early morning classes alongside getting the girls ready for school?
Yeah, well, early morning being early morning, so the 5:20 alarm usually goes off, and then we get up, we do the gym, and I'm a big person for organising the night before, so their uniforms are set on the bed, and my husband works from home, so I'm like, they're set out. You just literally have to say, that's yours, put it on. And they're very independent. I think I'm trying, maybe I've just pushed that into them, but like, come on now, we know how to dress, you know, other than buttons or something. So they're very good at sorting that all themselves. Come to mine.
Louis dresses Charlie, that's no joke. He dresses him head to toe.
But see, that's great. Or we do like races, we're like, I bet you can't be ready before mum's out of the shower. And then they rush and do it. So it's kind of a bit of a team effort, but I feel like if you want to do it,
you'll make
it work. Yeah. It has to be a mindset thing from your end. Like, you can't blame anything else. You like, if you are, you need to get them to school at a certain time, then you have to work back, and it might not suit you to get up at 5, but that 5 o'clock will thank you all day.
100%.
It mightn't feel it at the time.
Yeah.
But see, come 7 o'clock that night when you're wham-bammed and you're thinking, oh, I didn't work out today.
Yeah.
No, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
and also it's such if you
Like,
come
whoa.
home feeling like a hero of an early workout, you're like, look at their blinds still closed. You're like,
Do you know what? You can have the
lifts
coffee, you can have the bun
Absolutely.
in complete, do you know, whatever. But I just think it sets you up.
Absolutely. And if you have a decent clean legging set sitting at the side of the bed that you know you're just going to put that on you and run on the school run, makes it even easier.
You're me, I set the mat out and set everything out so that I am ready to I just do it in my
100%.
jammies or whatever a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love that.
And another one about the gym, sorry, but someone's asked any tips for someone who's too afraid to get started. Like how would you get started?
It's a good
I'd
one.
say drag a friend. Like, I think either someone that's already there that you're like, oh, I've been looking at this, like, oh, what do you think? Because that person will automatically say, I know if it was me, like, oh my God, are you interested? Please come, I'll take it, come meet me here or whatever. So someone that's already at a gym or an exercise that you're, you know, keen to start,
That's a good idea.
send them a wee message. You don't have to be best buds.
Yeah.
Like someone that you kind of know that you know even from a school run or
Because
something.
it's going to be an accountability partner for you too in the end.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to, it's just nice
Yeah.
to have somebody there.
You don't want to
Yeah.
let that person down by
Yeah.
cancelling
Not
last
coming.
minute.
Yeah.
So it makes you go, and also you know you have someone that's like, so whenever they say grab a bench, where do you grab the bench? They'll go and help you get it, or
Yeah.
they'll show you where it
Yeah.
is. So you have that sort of built in,
Or
right?
you can figure it out together. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I always say, like, ask a friend, or if you haven't someone that's already there, somebody else that's in a similar mindset, whether it's in your workplace or something like that, like, please come with me. Let's just go and do this. And even if you only drag them to 2 or 3 till you feel comfortable and
Yeah.
they really want to not do it, that's okay. But it's I think just having company is the best way to get started.
That's what I said to you last week, and like I went to that one this morning on my own.
Yes.
I knew
How
there
did you
was
get
another
on
girl
this
in it.
morning?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was meant to be a beginner's one, but because Taylor had done it before, and then she's me, this is your third one, Holly. So it was definitely not a beginner's. We were doing wee lifts and all today,
Love it.
and I was
Great.
up in the air, and I was like, oh my days, but it was very good. I
Yeah.
felt like I feel good, really good for it.
Brilliant.
Sore but good.
But like, that's something 2 weeks ago you were like, I'm not doing that.
Literally, I was like, no way.
And now that's been
Sitting in
your
the
third
car
class.
before you arrived, I was like,
Third
nope.
class, I know, she was sitting in the car. You'll love this actually. She was sitting in the car and you're like, Holly loves a good scare. So I was like, waited, creeped up to the car. I was right at the window, just tapped it. And honestly, she literally nearly
roared.
jumped out the side door. I wish I had
shouldn't
got
even
a
video-
camera.
I wish you had a video. That was good enough for
But
her.
I actually thought, there's no way this is going to scare. You know, someone that scares all the time. Like, there's people that you can't
Oh
really
no,
scare.
this is the thing. I love scaring people, but I love to be scared. Like, I am a very good person to make jump because I roar.
You did roar. I was like, actually, there was girls passing. I was like, God, I hope they know that we're actually friends. This looks like I am like an absolute creep. Just like,
It was
huddle at
funny.
the door.
Oh my god, it was funny. Is there any more, Calvin?
Yeah, last one here. So have we got any recent good fashion finds? Someone's asked.
Well, actually, yeah, I'm going to go first because
Go for it.
about half an hour before we started this podcast, I found one. Sinead came in today wearing the coolest, and I knew she was getting it, but I forgot about it. So she walked in, she goes, Holly, you ready for my jacket? Denim, Adidas, zip up. I was like, get that on me right now. So she bought a medium, she bought a large, she's keeping the large, and I was like, get that medium in for me. Cause I'm
Is it
banned
the
off
one
you.
with the white like stripe down the side of it? I have actually, do you see the kids in that? I have one of my friends, I seen her had her 2 wee boys dressed in the full tracksuit.
I
Or
seen
their
that.
class.
It's that in adult size.
It's class.
Really?
The wee
Jenna's
boys.
ones?
Jenna's
yes.
two wee boys.
I seen that.
I was like, this is class. I need this in adult. I didn't
She's
actually
wearing it. I'm
realise
going to
it
show you
in
before you go. It is
Love
amazing.
that.
So that is my fashion find because I want it.
We didn't see a girl at the shoe event the other night. She's actually at Theresa, Mummy and Charlie's class, but she has the most gorgeous Adidas cardigan. It's a pink, like nearly like
Crochet?
a fluffy one with like orange. The
No way.
oh, it's
I didn't
beautiful. Like
see
it's a
it.
really gorgeous, like hot pink. Oh, it's beautiful. I did notice her on the school run one morning, and then she was wearing it the other night. And I was like, I meant to say to you, this cardigan is. Holly
Well, I
needs
was
to see that.
thinking
You
I need to
mustn't have
see that.
mustn't have
But
saw her.
you see Sinead's jacket today because I'm like, that with the red legging set would be amazing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, really? I can. I need to see this jacket.
Oh, it's so cool.
I feel like, to be fair for me, and I can say this because I'm only in here like as a wee BA, but I love the Love Laura stuff this time. See
that's
the
great.
recent, see the legging sets, honestly, and that trench and the shacket and the
Which are
hoodie.
all now on pre-order, just saying.
Like, you know, the way sometimes you're like, oh, that'll be a nice bit. And like, in fairness, Laura, you weren't designing pieces thinking that everyone's going to love absolutely everyone. There's a variety in it to suit different body shapes,
Absolutely,
different
yeah.
lifestyles and things like that. But I'm literally like, no,
I want to put it back
can I
on.
not like
That's great.
something? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, please tell
But
me,
in
like-
fairness though, with the trench, we were both like, look, I
We
don't
were a
know if
bit
you
on the
love it, but
fence.
will you try it on? And I was like, look, I did like it without the hood. And literally you could just see a change from, I'll try it on to, I think I kind of like this, to I actually really love this.
No, the trench was the biggest shocker.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll never get over the reaction to the trench. Never. Because
Fabulous.
we were every single one of us in here doubted that trench.
Yeah, it's
don't
just
know
so
why.
different.
Parts
I
of
think
it.
it's different, and I was just like, oh, I don't
It's a
know
new,
about this.
totally
length.
new thing for
I
us.
think that's whereas other things you look at and you're like, oh, I love a jacket like that, and it's maybe in a different color or a different print or something extra cool.
It's been based on pieces from one wardrobe, like that are
so we already sort of know you
good.
love. Whereas I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know if I've seen anything like this. I don't think this is. And then I put it on, and I was saying to Holly, the biggest tester is that I've had it on every day since.
Oh, that's a great.
Which is kind of like what you're going
know.
for if you're looking your value for wear. Do you know
Yeah,
that sort of? If it's something
absolutely.
you're lifting just without thinking about an outfit to fire on, I think 100%.
Was there much style in Dublin the other day? Did you find?
Oh my gosh, we went into Brown Thomas and like I've now fallen in love with a pair of Prada loafers.
Yeah, you seen them, the chocolate ones?
Get the dupes, so no.
I know. I was like, but you know, I'm a really weird person about dupes. I will happily go head to toe in pennies, but I don't like a dupe.
So you want to spend them like you would? Nearly,
I would
like,
rather
make that your
say I
Christmas
can't
present.
afford. Yes, I'd rather
Oh,
say
would you
I
not
can't
then,
afford
if you
the thing. I'll not have it. I'll just
work
go
towards
and
it.
wear like think yes. I don't know. I've just this weird thing about it.
But if you really love them, do
I
you
know.
really love them?
I know they're beautiful. I feel like they will like because a
Never
loafer's
date.
so in.
Yeah, but
And,
also
like,
a loafer is like think Princess Di, like a loafer
So-
now.
I love a loafer.
Yeah,
I'm a
so do
loafer
I.
gal.
I feel like they were my uni best friends, and we're talking like 2006.
Yeah, like
I
they'll-
wore them all the time with like wide leg jeans. Like
Are
a
the
wee
chunky
loafer.
loafers or are they
Not
more-
overly, just a
They're
very
like-
a wee bit like the chocolate ones you already have.
Yeah.
Are they River Island ones?
Yeah.
Wee bit like
them.
that. Yeah, I know. And I'm usually not. I don't jump madly for a designer.
I think it's
piece.
because they're lovely. They're not chunky and all as well. They're really,
And I was like, actually, you could see me wearing them. You know, a lot of designers, I feel like that's class. That's got to sit in my wardrobe as a beautiful dress piece,
Yeah.
but it's never going anywhere.
No,
I'm
I
like,
feel like you are a
I could
loafer
wear
girl.
those,
No,
yeah,
you would.
with all the
socks
jeans.
and all too.
So
them on the
that's kinda
Christmas
it.
list,
But I
yeah.
ended up going for a pair of Adidas because they were
I
more in my
noticed these
price
high
range.
gorgeous are they though?
But I
They're
actually, I'm not going to lie, I had this blazer in mind whenever I bought
But
them.
like they're gonna work all winter.
Exactly.
This is the color.
Exactly.
Of the season.
I love that. Cool. That was interesting, wasn't it?
Anything else? I feel like Danielle, we need to get you back. There needs to be a part 2.
I know.
Because I'd say
I am
we're
such a
probably
talker.
chatted for too long here. People are gonna be like, okay, I've walked now, and I'm gonna have to do another loop to get this finished.
Add the Pilates class in, yeah, exactly.
know.
Full day. We'll keep it snappy. I'm like, I'm gonna meet Pete for breakfast for my
No, we're
birthday.
actually
here.
looking in panic and we're
We'll
late.
get your breakfast. Listen, it was a joy to have
Thanks,
you. We could have
Danielle.
chatted
I'm so
all day.
delighted.
Thank you so much for joining us. And if anybody doesn't know, you can follow Danielle on Instagram. Where else are you? Are you on TikTok?
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, I've deleted
Yeah.
that at the minute, but it still exists.
still there.
TikTok. And then also all of your charity bits are on, and all of your wee trusts are all on your
Yes.
Instagram page.
We can actually as well put the information about
In
the charity in our
in the notes.
Thank you, I
In the show
appreciate
notes.
that.
section as well. But and
Just
don't
in case it like sometimes
Because I
think people
feel like
listen
this
and
will
it
touch
affects-
a lot of people.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, tell me
So-
a bit more without wanting to reach out, which
Yeah.
is absolutely
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. So I think if we put them in the show notes and they know through your Instagram page, they can
definitely.
find them.
And then
That's
don't forget
important.
to give us a wee like and a wee rating as well for anybody who's listening that hasn't done it yet.
I feel like you're going to do that anyway when Danielle's on.
I come here for all the hype. This is my like hype girl session.
Thank you.
Thank you.